Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 9 of our favorite guitar riff masters of all time. We've got 30 days here in April 2023. We are picking out our favorite guitar players who delivered sensational, kick-ass, and memorable, that's the key word, memorable riffs, where in many cases, the big hook in the song is that riff. Usually that guitar player unleashes that riff near the beginning of the song, and it repeats itself throughout the song or at certain parts during the song. And that's what we remember. We hear it in our heads, we hum it, we know it, we love it. The great riff masters of all time. So today, here on day 9, I'm going to discuss one of the handful of guys that immediately came to mind when I was thinking about doing this show. This guy was a true legend. He's no longer with us. He's a fellow New Yorker. Had the opportunity to see him live a bunch of times throughout the years. Not way back in the day because I was a little too young. But starting in the 80s, all throughout the 80s, I caught him a bunch of times. The guy is Leslie West. The band is Mountain, right? Giving it all away on the shirt, right? This guy has a ton of great riffs. And Mountain were labeled at the time kind of like the U.S.'s answer to Cream, right? That kind of power trio, heavy blues rock type of sound where you had, a guitar player, great soloist, killer Riff-Master. You had an incredible bass player with big beefy tone. You had that really acrobatic drummer, powerful drummer. They later added a keyboard player as well, but for the most part, they're remembered as Corky Lang, Felix Pappalardi, and Leslie West, the heavy trio called Mountain. So, and Leslie was starting with the heavy riff-o-rama even before he actually named and formed the band Mountain, right? So he put out a solo album called Leslie West Mountain. Mountain was the name of the album. He later then said, well, we're just going to call the band Mountain, right? And so is history. So, but for me, the real debut Mountain album is not Climbing. It's actually Leslie West's Mountain album. This is just absolutely terrific, and there's face-melting riffs all over this particular album. All right, there you go. And the first choice for today is one of my favorite riffs from him of all time. It is a song called Dreams of Milk and Honey, which is on this album. They played it at Woodstock as well. Played this song throughout their career, but man, it's just, again, blues-based, right? It's like these fuzz-driven, blues-based passages or progressions, I should say, dum bum 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 boom boom dum 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 bum bum. It's such a cool riff to play, and it's got a groove to it, but it's slow and bluesy and heavy and just so typical of Leslie West and what he could create. So Dreams of Milk and Honey is my first choice for today of the 3 riffs from him. And then, you got to go to Mountain Climbing, right? The second album, or first official Mountain album, but technically kind of like the second album. And here, a little cowbell perhaps. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta have Mississippi Queen. Again, simple. Absolutely simple, but sledgehammer. It's like the combination of the cowbell and that riff. It's one of the all-time great songs, one of the great heavy rock songs of all time, one of the great riffs of all time. And again, like I've said throughout this month so far, sometimes the best riffs are the simplest ones, right? Because they stick with you. They hit you, and they stick, and they stay in here. So that's number 2. Number 3 is got to be Never in My Life, also from Climbing. It starts off, it's funny how it starts off with something and then it goes it's just ascending and descending. It's all it really is, a little blues progression, but again, overdriven with lots of gain, right? You got Corky Lang's great drumming going in the background. You got the bass Felix following along right with it. Just so heavy, so cool. Another great song to play on guitar. I absolutely love over all the years I've been playing and screwing around on guitar. I love playing around to Leslie West riffs and mountain songs. Just absolutely. They're so much fun. They're not that complicated, which is great. And if you can get the groove and get the tone, man, it's just so rewarding to play them. So yeah, so that's my choice for today. Leslie West, the great Leslie West, the band Mountain. And Leslie, and sometimes I keep forgetting to talk about the guitars these guys are playing. I know on the last couple episodes I've kind of spaced my mind. But, for the most part, Leslie plays a Les Paul Jr., or played a Les Paul Jr., especially early on. He also played a Flying V quite a bit. In fact, here is a picture here. I believe this was from Woodstock, if I'm not mistaken. But there he's playing a Gibson Flying V. He was mostly a Gibson guy. I think later on, like in the 80s, he started playing Strat-style guitars. He started doing stuff with the whammy bar and whatnot. But throughout most of the 70s, whether it was with Mountain or with Wes Bruce and Lang or his solo stuff, he mainly was playing, Gibson Les Paul Juniors, Flying Vs. I'm not sure if I ever saw him play an actual like Les Paul Standard or something like that, but I think you may have seen him play an SG from time to time, and then he got onto like I said, other types of guitars later on. But yeah, that was him. And again, not surprising. Some of the guys, some of the most memorable dudes of all time who laid down these monolithic heavy riffs, especially back in the late 60s and into the 70s. We're playing Gibson guitars, right, with those big humbucking pickups and whatnot. There were some guys doing it on Strats as well, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it is Gibson guitars are kind of synonymous with big riffs, at least back then. So anyway, that's my choice for today. Mr. Leslie West and the band Mountain, one of my favorite riff masters of all time. Let us know what you think of Leslie West and your 3 favorite riffs from the great New Yorker. And also your pick for today and your 3 favorite riffs from your player for today. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together. All the damn time. Happy Easter, everybody, for those of you that do celebrate. I want to give my best wishes to everyone on this Easter Sunday. And have a great day. Hopefully the weather's nice where you're at. And go and spend some time with friends and family. And before we go back to work tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. We've also got down below the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. And stay tuned. Coming up in just a little bit, we've got Ranking the Albums, another great riff band, right? The band November from Sweden. Great early 70s Swedish heavy rock band. In fact, kind of like Sweden's answer to Mountain. So go figure. So we're going to go from one riff master to another starting in just a little bit. And then, of course, we got the Hudson Valley Squares tomorrow. So, again, happy Easter, everybody. Take care. I am Pete Pardo. See you tomorrow morning with another great riff master. Till then, have a good one. Bye-bye.